Hey guys, how's it going? Perrin here. So, as you've seen in the Diablo news, Blizzard has announced a Diablo 3 expansion, and I know some reactions were similar to mine, where I started thinking, it's like, expansion? They're not even done with the original game. Like, what the fuck are they doing? But, it's just an announcement. They're just like registering the name or something like that. I'm sure it's probably just in the early stages, as they have to release this kind of information to their stockholders. But that really poses the question. It's like, why isn't the game finished yet? I mean, it's been over half a year, and the promised PvP, which was supposed to be coming out soon after the game was finished, has not come out yet. And people are wondering why this is, and I've wondered why this is, and I've been talking about it a little bit here and there, maybe noting it in some videos and some points. But I really wanted to discuss this issue because I've given it a lot of thought, and I think there are some real problems with the information that they've given out so far. So Blizzard has given out some information about PvP many months ago when many of us were still playing. My guess is that they released information thinking they'd come up with PvP at a relatively short amount of time, and they said that PvP will not be 1v1. It'll be like group based, so it'll be, I don't know what they said. I think it's like 5v5 or something, and they may be like other brackets where. 4v4 or some other brackets, and basically it's certain map. The other team gets their 4 players, you get your 4 players, and you get a time limit. And within the time limit, the team that has the most kills wins, and that's PvP. And if you compare that to the freedom of PvP in Diablo 2, that's kind of an embarrassment. But it's something. I mean, releasing something within a short amount of time, I think was appropriate. But releasing something like that, like 7 months after the game came out, would be a huge mistake. Largely because of the way how gear works in Diablo 3. I've said this a lot of times. People who have good gear will absolutely trump people who have less than good gear. And this difference can be very, very small. If someone has like 100 extra resists and 10% extra haste versus another one, the chances of the less geared player winning are fairly small. So that has the core of its problem from the gear. I know a lot of you have still been playing Diablo 3 since release, just farming the gear, getting the best gear every patch, even though every patch the gear that you had before seems to be less valuable and much more common, much easier to get. I don't really understand how people play the game that way still, but I know some of you do, and I know you guys who've put in all these hours are expecting to come up at the top of the PvP ladder when it comes out, and very likely that will be true, but I think this is at the core of why PvP hasn't been released, because there's very, very few people who have achieved this level of gear over the thousands of hours they've put into the game. And seeing as PvP is like 4v4 based or group based in general, these people who have like the best gear, highest Paragon level, by a decent margin, they're going to associate with people who also have the same thing. And there's not going to be many groups like these. I mean, if you guys have seen like the Diablo progress ladder for gear, there's a huge drop off even in the top 20. So in the top 20, there's going to be like, out of the top 6, there's going to be a group of 4. And those group of 4 are just going to roll over everything. It's not even going to be close. It's going to be like you join the game and you're going to find yourself up against 4 players, and you have no chance to defeat any one of the 4. People don't want to play that. Blizzard has been a game company that has appealed to the masses most of the time, and have been very successful for doing so. And if they release PvP in that kind of format, they will absolutely not be appealing to the masses, not even close. And Diablo 3 is a game that really needs community. It's a game that really needs more players to play it. It needs more more people to be like, obsessed with the game, playing every day, playing all the time, for it to work as a whole game, and for it to continue as a franchise. And if you release that kind of PvP, it's gonna be crap. People are gonna be excited about it. They're gonna be like, "Oh wow, I can plow noobs," and then it comes out, and 30 minutes into the game, they realize they're the noobs getting plowed by the guys who've spent countless hours or several thousands of dollars on their gear. So, it'll be a very short-lived excitement, a very short-lived, um, playtime patch. Everything will just be a joke at that point. And as we've all seen in the last few patches, Blizzard has not moved very much. The game hasn't changed very much over the patches, but it has changed in the correct direction. I don't think anyone is really disputing that. With the Paragon levels, with the Infernal Machine, the game is getting better and better. And I feel like if they release PvP in the kind of state that we all assume that it is going to be released, it's going to be a straight up disaster. It's going to be several steps backward, and it's not going to be what players want. And the game may actually, fall off a cliff, even though it almost has done that already. So that's kind of my 2 cents. I'm really hoping PvP works out, but the reality is the gear influence is just enormous. And the only real alternative is the other extreme, like having like PvP only gear, like in World of Warcraft, where it's fairly even across the board in terms of availability. I think that will also not work, because it's the other extreme. The people who have been farming it for so long, they'll feel betrayed. So how do you really balance that out? I don't know. But we'll see what they come up with. I wouldn't hold my breath for PvP. It's probably a good while away if they're really try to make it work to the best way possible to appeal to a large player base that the game still has, and hopefully appeal to the people who've left the game, hoping they've one day they'll come back one day when PvP comes live. So we'll see what's going on. But I have my doubts so far, and with the pace that Blizzard has had over the last few patches, we may be out PvP for many months. We'll see. See you guys tomorrow.